Oha, es geht direkt los mit Musik und alles. Hallo Leylo, schön, dass du da bist. Oh, bisschen laut. Ah, das bin ich schon. Heavy. Blättere ich um?
A lot of this isn't going to make sense to you. And I'm sorry about that. I'm just going to start at the beginning, with the house.
Audio. Bisschen leiser. Okay. Du sagst mir, wann, wenn es noch zu laut sein sollte, Leylo, ne?
I lived here until I was 11, but I wasn't allowed inside half the rooms.
Das Haus sieht ein bisschen so aus wie dieses von Rapunzel.
I hadn't been back since my brother Lewis's funeral.
Oh. Oh, mein Bruder ist gestorben, okay.
In her will, my mother left me a key, but didn't tell me what it unlocked. Maybe she thought I'd know. Or she thought that the mystery would be enough to bring me back.
Schon hübsch. Geht die Stimme ein Tick lauter? Ich glaube schon. Dialog hier. Oh.
No one had driven this way in a long time, but I saw a few hoof prints.
Perfekt, danke schön. Oh, wie hübsch. Oh nein, ich wollte langsam sein. Wie bin ich denn langsam? Ich kann irgendwie nur... Alle Knöpfe sind nur zum Ranzoomen.
Even after I inherited the house, I never thought I'd come back to it. But now I had questions about my family that only the house knew the answers to. The house was exactly like I remembered it, the way I'd been dreaming about it.
Wie komisch. Hübsch, aber komisch sieht's aus.
As a child, the house made me uncomfortable in a way I couldn't put into words. Now, as a 17-year-old, I knew exactly what those words were. I was afraid of the house.
Warum aber? Jetzt irgendwie fühlen, so abgelegen zu wohnen, muss ich sagen. Das aufnehmen? Nein.
I hoped the key might unlock the front door. It didn't.
Okay. Ich kann... Steuerung ist ein bisschen
I
schwer.
felt like the house itself had been waiting for me.
Der Schlüssel für die Garage. Ich finde es schön, so zu wohnen, hätte aber Angst, dort ohne Hund zu leben. Ja, mir gefällt es echt auch, aber halt, wenn du was brauchst, bist du echt einfach am Ende der Welt, ne? Ah, hier vielleicht. Oh, ich dachte, sie macht es
Crawling
mit
through
dem
the doggy
Schlüssel auf.
door used to be a lot easier when I
Aber so
was
geht's
11.
auch.
The power had been turned off the night we left. For the first time in years, felt like I was home. But instead of a family, there were just memories of one. Like how after Lewis started working at the cannery, we all got sick of eating salmon. Except our cat, Molly. Or how only one restaurant would deliver to our house, so we had Chinese a lot.
Ja, guck, stimmt. Bestellen kannst du dann auch nix. Kommt ja nix bis
The
zu
table
dir.
was still a wreck from the night we left. It was like a bomb had gone off, killing everyone but sparing the furniture. My mom was the only one of us who could imagine Great-Grandma Edie living in a nursing home. Nothing in the house looked abnormal. There was just too much of it, like a smile with too many teeth.
Aber schon hübsche
Even
Aussicht.
the fireplace had a story. Edie told me the bricks came from the original house, after it sank. Mom always told me to stay out of the basement, so I wasn't too surprised when the key didn't fit.
Schönes Haus, ja, oder?
Great-Grandpa Sven built a music box for Barbara, along with the rest of the house.
Wie süß. Ach, hier bin ich hergekommen.
A lot of things got left behind in the whirlwind of that last night.
Dort auf der Veranda mein Buch lesen. Ja, ist halt ehrlich so. Was für eine krasse, zugeschweißte Tür.
Edie told me once that every Finch who ever lived is buried somewhere in the library. After Milton disappeared, Mom sealed up all the bedrooms. Then Edie retaliated and drilled peepholes.
The fuck? Wunderschönen guten Abend. Hallo, Manni. Schön, dass
Last
du
time I
da
was in
bist.
Edith Senior's room,
Geht's dir?
I was 10 and she was painting my portrait. My Grandpa Sam spent 7 years sharing a room with his dead brother, Calvin.
Er hat sich das Zimmer mit seinem toten Bruder geteilt.
As a kid, I just assumed every house had peepholes and sealed rooms you weren't allowed inside of.
Vielleicht sollte ich erst da.
Molly
Schön,
always
dass du
seemed like a
streamst. Mir
girl I
geht's
could
super,
imagine
danke.
being
Viel
friends with
Wichtiges, aber wie geht's
if she
euch?
hadn't died in
Auch
1947.
gut, vielen Dank. Das heißt, jedes Mal, wenn jemand gestorben ist, wurde das Schlafzimmer versiegelt? Noch kurz zur anderen Seite. Oder habe ich jetzt das falsch verstanden?
Barbara was a child star for 2 years, until America grew out of it.
Okay.
Edie's father, Odin, built the original house.
Aha.
Whenever people ask me about my family, the first thing they always want to know about is Barbara.
Spiel ist nicht leicht zu verdauen.
Mom
Oh
must have locked
nein.
the third floor stairs on the night we left. I spent a lot of time playing in Great Uncle Walter's room. I think my mom sometimes regretted not sealing it up.
Oh, das sieht voll hübsch aus.
Lewis told me there were secret passages, but I never believed him. Turns out, my mom was really good at keeping secrets. Now it was time to find out what my mom had been afraid of. From the paintings on the wall, it was clear my brother Milton had been here before me. Reading this, maybe it sounds like I had a plan. But I had no idea what was behind that door. Just like I had no idea where all this was gonna lead.
December 13th,
Liebes
1947.
Tagebuch, bald werde ich nicht mehr da sein, aber ich wollte jemandem erzählen, was passieren wird. Es fing alles damit an, dass Mom mich ohne Essen ins
It
Bett
started when Mom
schickte.
sent me to bed without dinner. I woke up and I was starving, so I looked around for something to eat.
Ah, jetzt bin ich hier, okay. Ah, süß.
My Halloween candy was all gone.
Oh.
The gerbil food was dry, but I didn't mind it.
Wurde dir mal ohne Essen ins Bett geschickt als Kind? Ja. Oh, stimmt.
I kept eating and eating.
Ich denke nicht, dass deine Eltern das nicht haben. Ja, das hätte ich auch gesagt.
I ate a lot of things that night.
Ich glaube, ich könnte das
Then
auch
I
nicht.
heard chirping outside my window.
Ah,
It was a barn swallow going back to her nest. I reached out for her.
oh,
And suddenly, I
was?
was a cat.
Ah,
I tried to be quiet, but the bird was really scared.
hab ihn fast. Denn dahin jetzt?
Und wie ist es?
Hübsch. Aber ich wäre keine gute Katze geworden, muss ich sagen. Wo ist denn der Vogel hin? Da.
I jumped and I almost got her. I could tell she was getting really tired. Now I was up in the big tree. I promised Dad I wouldn't climb it anymore. All I cared about was eating that mama bird. I gobbled her up,
Oha.
and suddenly I was an owl. First, all I heard was the wind. Then I heard little teeth nibbling in the grass.
Oh mein Gott, ich fliege. Schon cool. Mein Gott.
I imagined his face looking up and seeing mine through my talons. I swallowed him up, and I didn't chew one bit. Then I flew off to find something bigger.
Das Größte, das muss ich finden.
A mama rabbit.
Nein!
She was almost too big to carry. I started choking, but I couldn't stop eating. And suddenly, I was a shark.
Okay. Ich weiß auch nicht, was ich jetzt machen soll. Ich bin ein Hai, ich muss irgendwie... Ich kann sogar springen. Wild.
I rolled
Whoa!
off the cliff and into the ocean. Now, I was hungrier than ever.
Oh nein, ich habe ja ein bisschen Schiss im Wasser, muss ich zugeben. Bisschen Thalassophobie.
I wanted fat, juicy seals.
Mein Gott, als Hai noch schlechter als Katze. Wo ist der hin? Ah, hier oben ist halt nach unten und unten ist nach oben. Ich sehe nichts. Kann sich nur noch um Stunden handeln. Dann kann ich den nicht essen. Ah, jetzt.
I tore off her flipper, and it tasted really good.
Bin ich so grausam? Wo ist der hin? Ah, da unten.
I grabbed on tight. But I was so hungry, I jumped out of the water. When I opened my eyes, everything had changed.
Was ist das? Was bin ich? Bin ich ein Krake? Holy moly. Wo ist denn hin? Oh, ich steck fest. Bei Manni klingt das ein bisschen so, wie es bei Fabi ist. Zu Hause. Ich weiß nicht, wo ich hin muss mit meinen langen Tentakel. Ach so, oh mein Gott.
Now I was a monster, and I smelled people everywhere.
Sind die Menschen denn?
I was big, but I moved real quiet. I wanted to stop, but also I didn't.
Ich komme nicht weiter. Wie komme ich denn zum Kapitän? Da außen rum. Aha.
After the last passenger, I was still hungry. And across the water, I smelled something new. Something I had to have.
Niemals
So
mache
I
ich eine
swam towards
Schifffahrt. Ah.
I slithered onto the sand, and the good smell went into an old pipe.
Ich muss zwar sagen, ich glaube, wenn ich so ein Krake wäre, würde ich es fühlen. Würde auch Menschen fressen. Warum auch nicht? Krank.
I got closer and closer. All my stomach started growling. And suddenly, I was me again. I held my breath for a long time, but I couldn't hear anything. I think it's waiting for me to fall asleep. But it's not going to wait much longer. It needs to feed, and we both know I will be delicious.
I'm not sure if I believed all of that, but I'm sure Edie would have. I grew up looking at Molly's room through the peephole. Molly's gerbil had a tiny bedroom with its own even tinier gerbil cage. Being inside for the first time, I felt like I'd stepped behind a painting. I can't describe it, but I felt like some part of Molly was still here.
Wisst ihr eigentlich, ob Fische trinken müssen? Ich habe es noch nie gegoogelt. Ich glaube ja. Ich glaube, die trinken ganz kleine Schlücke immer. Wird Zeit, es zu googeln. Wo bin ich denn hängen geblieben? Gruselig. Hä, was soll ich jetzt tun? Aha.
This will be obvious later, but my mom never told me any of these stories. Edie would have, but Mom didn't like bringing up the past. Though, when we adopted a stray kitten, she was the one who named it Molly. I spent a lot of time in Great-Grandma Edie's room. Edie knit me a new pair of gloves every year, just in time to replace the old ones.
Mhm.
Her room was like a museum. For 500 years, the Finches have been famous throughout Norway for their fortune and misfortune. Odin Finch buries the latest victims of the family curse, his wife Ingeborg and their newborn son, Johan. On January 7th, 1937, he set sail with his family and his house,
Also Molly ist gestorben an
hoping
dem
to leave the
Essen.
curse behind. But 40-foot
Steht das
waves
mit dem
off the
Fluch
coast of
noch nicht?
Washington send the house and Odin to the
Ah,
bottom of the
jetzt.
sea. Odin's daughter Edie, with husband Sven and baby Molly, step ashore on their new home, Orcas Island. Odin Finch is the first to be buried in the new family cemetery. His daughter Edie is already dreaming of a new Finch house.
Okay, kann ich das wieder weglegen, bitte?
Whatever's wrong with this family, it goes back a long ways.
Irgendwie gruselig, das immer so aufzubewahren mit einem Foto von dem Tier, was da drin gelebt hat. Weiß ich nicht.
When Edie told people Sven was killed by a dragon, she could also have said he was building a dragon-shaped slide that collapsed. She could have, but she didn't. Even in her 90s, sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother.
Hä, Leyloo, dein
Grandpa Sam's
Badezimmer?
first wife Kay left on the house was the pink bathroom.
Ein Bad,
It was a
ja.
pretty big trace.
Nein, so einen Stuhl habe ich auch. Ich habe den Schlüssel immer noch, okay.
There's a secret in this bathroom. It's in the last place you would look. It isn't in the cupboard. It's hidden in this book.
Was ist das?
Sven gave Sam an old camera he'd refurbished. He never put it down.
Ich muss sagen, ich habe jetzt schon ein bisschen Durcheinander mit den Namen. Wer wär's?
I knew Grandpa Sam had a twin. And that he never talked about him.
Das muss doch echt
I guess
verschwimmeln.
my grandpa didn't like history
Denkst
anymore
du, wenn
than
es
my mom did.
besessen ist, dann gibt's keine Spinnen?
How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam Finch. The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it.
Oh, ich
My
habe einen
brother said
gebrochenen
he'd die
Fuß.
before he ate another mushroom. And he did.
Bruder sagt, er stirbt lieber als noch
he swore
Pilz zu
he'd
essen.
never be afraid again. And he wasn't.
Wuhu!
I think Calvin always wanted to fly.
Wie fliegen? Bin ich Kelvin? Bin ich Sam? Aha, okay.
But that day, he finally made up his mind.
Nein, ich bin doch Kelvin. Nein, bitte, spring nicht. Hallo?
I
Bremsen?
told him going around was impossible.
Ah. Sag ihm, er würde es nicht ganz rumschauen. Wer platziert denn eine Schaukel so? Ja, kann ich jetzt absteigen und essen gehen, bitte? Ich kann nicht. Ich kann nur schaukeln. Oh nein. Bisschen Angst, dass er springt.
Maybe if I hadn't said that.
Nein, ich versuche rundherum zu gehen, oder? Aber dann schlage ich doch dagegen.
I'm not gonna tell you again.
Maybe if the wind hadn't picked up.
Was war das für ein Geräusch?
Then maybe he'd still be here. But I doubt.
Nein.
I think he'd already made up his mind. That's what I want to remember about my brother.
Mir wird schlecht. Geschafft. Halt an, bitte.
The day he made up his mind to fly. And he did.
Calvin's story felt strangely
Mit
familiar.
11
When I
gestorben.
was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same thing. After the funeral,
Nee.
Edie roped off Calvin's half of the room.
Kann ich hier wieder zumachen? Nein. Schaukeln sind gestrichen. Leylo streicht einfach alles jetzt. Warte, hier hinten konnte ich auch noch was machen. Oder nicht? Ah nein, konnte
Mom
ich
said
nicht.
Grandpa Sam enlisted at 18 and never set foot in the room again.
Ah, deswegen sind beide noch Kinder.
The passages were a pretty tight fit. They'd obviously been built for smaller hands and bellies.
Ah, jetzt bin ich in ihrem Zimmer.
Growing up, I always thought of Barbara as a child star. I never thought about how hard it must have been for her afterwards. Of all the stories people wrote about Barbara's death, I'm surprised Edie saved this one.
Old Jack here with another ghastly tale inspired by America's most unfortunate family. I'm calling it The Surprise Ending of Barbara Finch. As a child star, Barbara was famous for her scream. Now at 16, she was all washed up. A has-been. But in a lucky break, she'd been asked to perform her signature scream at a local convention for monster movie fans. It was just the boost her career needed. Unfortunately, her scream hadn't aged well.
Getting better. I think you just need the right motivation.
Her biggest fan and current boyfriend, Rick, was about to demonstrate when...
Now that was a great scream.
It was Barbara's father, Sven. He'd slipped into a table saw and had to be rushed to the emergency room. So Barbara got stuck babysitting her youngest brother, Walter. Her convention comeback was cancelled.
Okay, I'm hearing frustration, but I'm not hearing terror. What if I tried...
A gang of hoodlums in Halloween masks have been terrorizing Orcas Island tonight. Police are urging residents to...
That came from the basement.
You're right! Also, I loved your delivery on that. Why is your basement door locked?
Because my dad likes making puzzles and secret passages. There's a key hidden in the music box. The secret is to keep winding and winding until finally the key pops out.
Thanks, babe. I'll be back in a sec.
20 minutes later, Rick hadn't returned. So Barbara went to look for him, right on cue.
Okay, jetzt Konzentration.
She reached for the music box. And as she wound the key, she listened for Rick, but the house was silent. She found Rick's crutch and imagined the worst.
Ah!
The
Macht halt
gang's
schon
leader is
Spaß.
the infamous Hookman killer, Dr. Carl Hamill, who impaled and then ate his family 10 years ago tonight.
Aber jetzt vielleicht einfach ein bisschen langsamer laufen.
The old fridge rattled and grew still.
Ja, jetzt konnte ich auch weiterlaufen.
Oh dear!
Oh! War ich?
Rick?
Barb, relax. I was just trying to scare you to help you find your scream.
Well, I'm not scared, Rick. I'm furious.
Then act furious. All I'm getting from you now is that you're hurt and confused and
She threw him out, but she kept a little something to remember him by.
Barb, have you seen my other crutch?
And she was still holding it when she fell asleep watching the late picture show. Hours later...
Barbara! Walter, what's going on up there? Ah! Okay, I'm coming up, but if this is a trick, you're dead, Walter.
Oh nein, was ist passiert? Ich schwöre, die Musik. Ah.
Walter, are you there? Walter had vanished, but his bedside radio was still on.
Orcas Island police describe the man as 6 feet tall, with a steel hook for a hand. Residents are urged to lock all doors and windows and notify the police of any suspicious activity.
Dreh dich
Bob
um.
returned, saw the hook man, and was speechless. He was quite smashing. And here he was. He couldn't get enough of Barbara.
Okay, Barbara, there's gotta be another way out of here.
That night, she played her part beautifully.
Weg hier.
Molly's door hadn't been opened in years. The hinges groaned.
Vielen Dank für den Follow. Willkommen. Ich bin komplett gefangen gerade. Sorry, ich hab's gar nicht gesehen.
The story might not be over yet.
Ich habe richtig Schiss wegen dieser Michael Myers Musik. Die steht jetzt nicht einfach auf. Ein Comic, aber voll gefangen. Ich wusste es.
The hookman had vanished. She listened for his breathing, But all she heard was...
Ist der denn? Läuft es heute Abend? Sind deine Alerts aus wegen YouTube? Nein, nein, sind sie nicht. Müssten eigentlich an sein. Wie es läuft? Ganz gut. Wir haben das Spiel angefangen. Vor einer halben Stunde, glaube ich. Mussten kurz einmal... Oh mein Gott, dreh dich um!
Oh dear.
Einmal nochmal anfangen.
The monsters had come to surprise her. For Barbara, it was a dream come true. Then she saw what kind of monsters they were, and she realized what was about to happen. She was going to be famous. And with her final breath, Barbara Finch gave the performance of her life. I wasn't there myself, but I hear Barbara was magnificent. Poor girl. She had a taste for stardom. But unfortunately, so did her fans. Of course, the police blamed it all on poor Rick, who disappeared the same night. And little Walter, hiding under his bed the whole time. He took it all pretty hard, but that's another story.
Mein Gott, voll spannend, wirklich.
The music box is all they ever found of her. Her ear.
Oh mein Gott.
A real eerie tale.
Crazy, wirklich.
Edie told me all Barbara wanted was to be remembered, as absurd as that comic was. Maybe what Edie saw was a happy ending.
Entschuldigung, ich tippe durch Google Übersetzer, Freunde. Ist es für dich einfacher, Englisch zu schreiben? Do you speak English? I mean, I can try. Ich vorhin irgendwie noch einen Durchgang gesehen? Da vorne, glaube
I guess
ich.
now I know why Mom didn't like me playing with the music box.
Jetzt bin ich wieder hier. War ich jetzt hier rein? Ach ja, jetzt muss ich zur Musikbox. Lost. Was ist das denn? Und da haben wir es. Mach hier kurz Pause. Ich komme sofort wieder, ja? Okay, ich bin wieder da. I'm back. Ich komme aus Kanada. Aha. Mega cool. Und du verstehst Deutsch? Wenn ich Deutsch rede? I mean, I can speak English
Mom said the basement was off
sometimes.
limits, unless I wanted another tetanus shot.
Bin gruselig hier, der Keller, muss ich
I saw
sagen.
Edie sneak down to the basement
Willkommen
once,
zurück, willkommen
carrying
zurück.
packages.
Hallo, es ist ein bisschen dunkel.
I thought maybe she was hiding presents.
Dankeschön übrigens, Moni.
It turned out she was hiding a lot more than that.
Ich sehe halt nix. Bin blind. Wie in DBD immer. Was
I remember
ist
asking Mom once
das?
about where Walter had gone. She said after Barbara died, he got as far away as he could.
Hallo Lea. Schön, dass du da bist.
If there's a pattern in all these
Wie
stories,
geht's dir?
I think it's that none of us has gotten very far.
Bin ich letztens noch über Bunker geredet. Und selber auch gut, danke.
Goodbye, everyone. I can't believe I've been down here for 30 years.
Jetzt bin ich
On that
eher.
first day, after the shaking started, I didn't think I'd survive a week. But after a few days,
Okay.
I settled into a routine. That's what kept me sane. Having a schedule, living for today. I
Hab
always
das Spiel
expected
auch
to be
letzte Woche
dead
das erste Mal
tomorrow.
gespielt. Wie findest du es bis jetzt? Ich muss sagen, ich habe ein bisschen Problem mit den Namen
If you
merken,
wait
wer
long
wer
enough,
ist.
you get used to anything.
Aber ansonsten gefällt mir die Geschichte wirklich gut.
Even a monster on the other side of the door starts to feel normal.
Deutsch ist eine schöne Sprache. Ja,
Almost
das
friendly.
stimmt, aber schwer. Wie fandest du's?
And then one day, everything just stopped. Whatever that thing
Stand da
was,
vorhin nicht
was
1960 oder sowas? Und jetzt bin ich in
maybe it
2005.
got tired
Und immer noch hier
of
unten.
waiting.
Ich fand es
Or
mega.
maybe I just got tired of being afraid.
Ich finde, das Spiel hat was Besonderes. Ja,
It's been a week now, the longest in 30 years.
aber zum Teil etwas schwer zu verstehen.
I'm
Also
done
nichts für
waiting.
mich.
I have to leave. Well, I still can.
Sehr. Ach, hier. Mein Gott, noch weiter runter.
I know it's out there somewhere. Whatever killed Barbara and Molly.
Musste mich dann im Nachhinein nochmal genau reinfuchsen. Jetzt weiß ich gefühlt alles. Perfekt.
Calvin. Maybe this is all a mistake.
Oh,
But I need to stop living the same day. Even if it kills me. Whatever's out there, I want you to know I'm ready for it. I'm going to appreciate all of it, especially the food. I don't mind if I only have a year left. Or a month. Or a single week. I'd be happy with one new day. I can already imagine the sun on my face.
nein.
Walter died when I was 6. I can't believe my mom never told me he was down here.
Ja, wirklich.
I'm sure my mom was trying to protect me. Maybe she was afraid I'd end up like Walter. But if she never told me about an uncle under the house, I can only imagine what else she was hiding. I don't want to make the same mistakes she made. Trying to bury something that's still alive.
Bin ich jetzt auch auf diesen Gleisen?
Now that there's only one of us left, or maybe two, I thought it was time I heard the stories for myself and found out what happened to everyone else. But now I'm worried the stories themselves might be the problem. Maybe we believed so much in a family curse, we made it real. I don't know if I should even be writing this. Maybe it'd be better if all this just died with me. But I thought you should know about your family.
Hängen geblieben.
And the history you're a part of. Though to be honest, I feel as lost as you probably do right now. I think the people in these stories believed them, for what that's worth.
Jetzt finde ich, wird's traurig. Nein.
Had that history of imagination and stubbornness and madness. Any of it seems possible. I think we've been surrounded by death for so long, we've just gotten used to it. What kind of family finishes building a cemetery before starting the house? It's embarrassing for me to admit this, but the pet cemetery made me more uncomfortable than the human one. 3 of the gerbils were mine, and 2 had been my fault. Sven built the house, but it was Edith who designed the cemetery. I'm sure Odin's monument had been Edie's idea. My mom was always trying to move on, but for Edie, the past never went away. She could see it poking out of the water at low tide. Edie said she dreamed about the old house every night.
Kann ich bitte wieder reingucken oder geht das jetzt nicht?
Edie's side was always easier.
Ich habe das Gefühl, ich kann noch mal gucken.
But the older I get, the more I can see where my mom was coming from. Her dad had been pretty strict, but it wasn't enough to save her brothers. She was just trying to do better.
Oh.
She lost 2 of her brothers, just like I did. I get why she tried so hard to protect us. There's so many things I wish I could ask my mom now. Part of me thinks this is what she wanted all along. For me to come back someday and find everything out for myself. But looking back on it now, if she told me there was going to be so much climbing, I never would have come when I was 22 weeks pregnant.
Perfekt. Ich hab's mir vorhin schon gedacht. Ist er vielleicht nicht über der Scheibe laufen?
I never met Grandpa Sam.
Einfach mal schwanger da
I think
rumlaufen.
he and my mom had a lot in common. They were both pretty intense. Sam spent his life shooting photos, but Mom said he got nervous being in front of the camera. I guess we're all afraid of something.
Ich glaube, wir sehen uns erst hier alles an. Geh wieder zurück. Mein Gott, habt ihr meinen Bauch gesehen? Wie hübsch.
Dawn, I promise, you'll never forget this weekend.
Yes, sir.
These memories are gonna last a lifetime.
Mm-hmm. Am I gonna have to shoot anything?
It's a hunting trip, Dawn. Shooting is strongly encouraged.
Hä, voll schwer. Ist einfach immer.
Shouldn't we be leaving?
Just want to get a shot of you, Dawn, then we can take off.
Das Kind finden. Oh, perfekt.
What?
Perfect.
Ich dachte, ich muss es scharf machen.
Weekend, isn't it? I will never forget this weekend, Dad.
Reden wir nicht darüber.
I'm gonna take some pictures, okay?
Just be careful. That camera's older than you are.
Ja, wie hübsch. Achso, jetzt bin ich am Fokus machen.
Aw.
Oh.
You're right, Dad. It's starting to clear up. Still freezing, though.
Hübsch, aber was soll ich hier fotografieren? Ah, hier. Das. Nee, sonst nix. Was soll ich denn noch fotografieren? Ja, ist okay, als ob ihr es gewusst hättet. Tut jetzt nichts. Wenn sie nichts gesagt hätte, hättet ihr auch nichts.
Definitely should not have drunk all that coffee. Hey!
That's a keeper. Hold still while I take a picture of you.
I'm just saying, I'm not always gonna be here, Dawn. You'll need to remember this stuff, if you want to survive.
I'll be fine, Dad.
You know who else thought he was gonna be fine?
Some guy who died.
Dawn, I'm being serious.
I know, Dad. You're always serious. Doesn't being out here make you want to chill out?
Well, to tell you the truth, I haven't been out here in 20 years. Last time I was with my brother Calvin.
Dad!
Oh.
Good eyes, Dawn. Before you take the shot, let me get a picture of you.
Dad, I...
Let me get behind you.
Do I have to do this?
Dawn, you don't have to.
Oh.
Great shot, Dawn.
Chillig.
I'm proud of you, Dawn. Always remember that, okay?
Nein, die Arme. Ach so, ich bin hier.
Sorry, Dawn. Just gotta reset the timer.
Renn!
Dad, it's twitching. I think
That's
it's
totally normal, Dawn. Just focus on the camera. Try not to think about...
Dad!
Oh. Oh. Ja, bist du jetzt glücklich, XLeyloo? Weil du das gesagt hast.
Of all these stories, that's the one I wish most that my mom had told me.
Crazy.
Instead of hiding from death, Sam seemed to go out of his way to meet it.
Okay, jetzt gehen wir da weiter. Ja, bin ich danke. Herzlos, wirklich.
After Sam died, my mom and Edie got really close. They'd both lost a lot.
Was ist das für eine gruselige Puppe da schon wieder? Ach, das sind Bilder. Oh nein, sind sie.
Dear Kay, do you remember the way Gregory used to laugh when he thought he was alone? Like something funny was happening, but only he could see it. I think he saw things the rest of us don't.
Was sehe ich denn? Oh. Nein, nicht die Szene. Oh nein, du weißt, was passiert? Ah, ich bin der Frosch. Woo! Oh.
Gregory, it's time to... Hold on, sweetie. Hello? Sam, I told you I don't want to talk right now.
Woo!
I wonder what he saw. What his world was like.
Treff die nicht auch jetzt.
He reminded me so much of Calvin.
Süß.
Lost in his imagination. Whatever it was, he saw.
Oha!
It sure made him happy.
Bitte dreh dich um. Top. Kann ich nicht. Ich kann nichts machen, außer hier ein bisschen rumspringen. Geht da. Da hoch.
I know how silly it sounds.
Mach das nochmal.
That I worried about a baby being too happy. But I could feel him slipping away.
Sorry about that, Gregory.
I know you did everything you could. Maybe if I hadn't called that night.
Damn it. Hold on, I don't want Gregory to hear this.
Nein.
I wish he could have told us. About the world he saw.
Nein. Kann ich diesen Ding ziehen, bitte? Nein. Spring doch runter.
There's so much I don't understand.
Oh.
About Gregory. About everything.
Ja, bitte zieh das.
But I know
Bitte.
what happened wasn't your fault. I'm sure he's happy. And he'd want you to be happy too.
Ich hab das nicht gemacht. Das musste so sein.
Love, Sam.
Ich hab das nicht gemacht.
My mom moved up to the loft after her brothers died. At the time, it was as far away as she could get. I can't imagine what it was like for her to lose 2 sons after she'd already lost 2 brothers.
Nein! Ich wollte es doch noch angucken. Muss ich nochmal hoch. War damals geschockt, bin es immer noch, ja. Barbie sagt, ich bin schuld, aber ich konnte nichts machen. Ich musste es machen. Das war die Geschichte. Ich habe nicht mal dahin gesteuert.
She spent a summer building houses in Calcutta, where she met my dad, Sanjay.
Hier wieder raus, oder was? Scheint schon. Ach, hier ist noch.
I can't imagine my mom ever writing poetry, and yet...
A poem for Gus, who always said the wedding was a bad idea. Our father never hit us kids, at least not very hard, before the day my brother said with teenage disregard that he'd be dead before he'd see a wedding in our yard.
Ich muss das alles umdrehen.
My father made him come, of course,
Mein
but
Gott,
Gus
wie
stood far
cool.
apart, just flew his kite and bottled up the storm inside his heart. I tried to talk him out of it, but though he'd never met her,
Ja, habe ich
We
das
don't
gerne
need a
gemacht,
stepmom
Drachen
or the
steigen
word
lassen.
step.
Aber ich nicht, muss ich sagen. Nur zu anstrengend. Oh, ich bin auf der falschen Seite.
When the time for photos came, Dad ordered him to come here. But Gus declined and as a sign held up his middle finger.
Oh, hä? Hey, frech.
The wind picked up and panicked geese appeared and quickly went. But all the humans did that day was go inside the tent.
Schon cool gemacht.
The rain came down in buckets then, but no one seemed afraid that nature might destroy the tent our dad had crudely made. The thunder sounded much too close and full of angry power. But all my father said to this was, "Make the music louder."
Nimm einfach alles mit. Oh!
I wish that I could truly say I thought about you on that day. Out there on the beach alone, just you, the wind, the sea, and foam. But I didn't. Until we found you.
Crazy.
She never talked about him, but Mom told me once if I was a boy, they were going to name me Gus.
Muss ich überhaupt wieder raus? Aber nicht, oder? Nein. Ging noch. Oh. Ja, von der Mutter. Oder noch einen anderen. Ich habe mir nämlich schon gedacht, als kein Text. Recht. Ja, ist richtig. Warst du jetzt hoch oder hin? Wo du warst? Hä, bin ich blind? Hier. Ja, hoch. Ah, wegen der Verzögerung, ne? Ach. Reden wir nicht darüber, lassen wir es einfach so stehen. Später schneide ich das raus. Dann gehe ich einfach von Anfang an hoch. So. Von Anfang an hochgelaufen. Ah, hier das Fenster.
My mom moved to India a week after graduation and got a job teaching English. Lewis was born a year later. When my dad died, I don't think Mom knew where else to go. I'm sure Edie was happy to have her back.
Das ist wirklich
The house had to
hübsch.
get a little bigger, but Edie was used to that. And for a while, things were good. Almost normal. but it didn't last. The beginning of the end was Milton's 10th birthday, when Edie gave him a castle. After Milton disappeared, the only thing he left behind was a room full of paintings.
Und alle Zuschauer auf YouTube, es wurde was weggeschnitten. Du sollst mich doch supporten. Kann ich bitte nicht so riskante Aktionen hier machen, schwanger?
Milton Finch in The Magic Paintbrush.
Nicht gesagt. Ja, schon.
I was 4 when Milton disappeared.
Schon hübsch aus, all. Schon sagen.
Mom spent months searching for my brother. Then she sealed the doors. Whatever Milton had found in the house, Mom didn't want it getting out.
Nein, bitte sag nicht, ich muss jetzt rundherum laufen. Perfekt. Ich wollte eigentlich sowieso nur die Aussicht genießen.
Mom definitely blamed Edie, but I think Lewis blamed himself. After he graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room. Until Mom got him a job at the cannery. Everyone always told me to stay out of Lewis's room. Except Lewis.
Geh nicht weiter? Aha. Würde ich mich da gerne reinsetzen, ne? Sieh das an. Was will man mehr? Eine Aussicht, ja, oder?
Lewis's room smelled very, very familiar. That part of him lived on. Lewis and I spent a lot of time playing games together, but he was surprisingly bad at them. He died a lot.
Danke schön, xLeyloo.
Dear Mrs. Finch, As Lewis's psychiatrist,
Dankeschön.
I can understand
Schön.
your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse.
Oh,
Newly sober, I believe Lewis first noticed the monotony of his daily life.
was ich machen? Oh,
He kept working at the cannery, but he withdrew part of himself. In our sessions, I saw the same behavior. His mind began to...
eine Katze miaut. So, jetzt.
wander. I asked him to
Oh,
describe.
ich kann nicht beides gleichzeitig.
He said he started small, imagining a labyrinth. He'd feel his way about. Then something moved. Bats. And toads. And things that have not names. He knew it was all in his head. But he took it very seriously.
Oh mein Gott, ich kann nicht beides gleichzeitig.
I had hoped he'd find himself. But he found something more. I worried about him then. Daydreaming at the cannery. I spoke with his boss. But he said Lewis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused. Like a whole new Lewis. So I let him go on.
Arbeiten und nicht
I
träumen.
even encouraged him.
Lelo ist heute richtig herzlos.
It seemed very promising at first. He told me he'd made a new friend.
Ah, ein Hund. Wir nennen ihn
On the edge of
Face.
a city he named Lewis Topia. He built the city up slowly, brick by brick. Then he made musicians.
Oh, mach mal so.
And songs for them to play.
Ja, richtig.
He talked about starting a band. And he was always humming something.
Ja, die sind mir alle ein bisschen zu glücklich.
Every day his imagination grew stronger. He no longer spoke at the cannery. But his chopping was as reliable as ever. Then one day it struck him that all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination. So he could do whatever he wished. He held an election for mayor. And he won. They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering. It became a game for him.
Mein Gott, ich.
He'd conquer a city, then immediately push on. New Louisville.
Oh.
St. Louis. He started drifting away from our reality. Minneapolis. until one
Yeah,
day he
Lewis
forgot to
is
go
so
home
big.
from the cannery. Even as his mother pleaded with him, part of Lewis kept sailing on. In Lewisburg, he heard rumors of a beautiful prince. The prince was on his own quest for radiant rainbows.
Oh nein, nicht getroffen. Oh. Oh, den Fisch muss ich ja auch noch machen.
He followed the sound of his silver harp. His chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon. Even then, his logic remained sound. He knew the world was all in his imagination.
What? Ich komme nicht hinterher.
But he was so proud of having created it. In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king. For someone who'd never known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming. And then it struck him that the real Lewis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace. My imagination is as real as my body, he told me. It was hard to argue with him. He began to forget the world we know. I think it pained him to remember Lewis, the cannery worker. He began to despise the man with a royal contempt.
Nein.
I still thought I could save him. Even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder. The palace would be packed with his companions. Including the wise Calico who'd insisted on advising him. His prince waited, holding his crown. There was only one thing left to do. Bend down his head.
Das ist eine Guillotine, das will ich eigentlich nicht unbedingt machen.
And the rest I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
My brother was really cool. I wish you could have met him.
Wow.
On the way back from Lewis's funeral, my mom told me to start packing. She waited until the day before we left to tell Edie. I'm not sure if she wanted to make it easier or harder. I wish we'd stayed. But I understand why we left. My mom ended up leaving everything behind. What happened that night had been coming for a long time. Maybe it should have come sooner. But it had to end one way or another.
Oh,
All that's left now was to tell you about that last night. That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
"To our final night together, and all our final nights apart."
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very
Edith,
specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our last...
I'm not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
The power had been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles. When my mom sealed the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrance. Or that Edie had a key to it.
That thing you're afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house. Edith has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your stories. I think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight. We'll have the nursing home send a van for you in the morning. Okay?
Dear Edith, there's so many stories I wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were born. That night, the tide went way, way out. It was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground. There'd been an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean. They called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years. God, it smelled awful. You know, I've seen that house every day of my life. But I never thought I'd go back to it. When the fog rolled in, I lost my way.
Nein, ich weiß genau, wo ich hin muss. Hallo.
I got turned around.
Nein, es war da.
I started seeing things. Things I'd forgotten had ever existed. But when I saw them, they felt like old friends. That night, a lot of things came back to me. Or maybe I came back to them. Things I can't explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here?
It's mine.
Edith!
Mom, you're gonna rip it! Let go! I kicked and screamed, but Mom dragged me to the car. I never saw Great-Grandma Edie again. The next morning, the van came to pick her up, but she was already gone. After that, we moved around a lot.
Habt ihr das früher auch mal gemacht? Was für früher? Du hast das letzte Woche noch erst.
A few years went by. My mom didn't like to talk about it. But she started getting sick a lot. The rest happened pretty quickly.
Gesundheit.
She got better for a while, and then she didn't. And then I was alone. The last Finch left alive. Until I found out about you. I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this. If we lived forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes.
Hat man die Niesen gehört?
And appreciate how strange and brief all of this is. This journal was supposed to be for you.
Ich kann weiter.
But now I hope you'll never see it. I just want to meet you. And tell you all these stories myself. But I guess if you're reading this now, things didn't work out that way.
Nein.
This is where your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
Nein.